Hi, I'm Antoine Simoulin. I'm a PhD student at Quantmetry and Paris University. I'm really happy to present you my paper, How Many Layers and Why? Analysis of the Model Depth in Transformers. Transformers are widespread used in all NLP applications. They extract semantic features by progressively transforming text through a fixed number of layers. We call the number of layers the transformer depth. In the paper, we investigate the function of layers in deep transformer models. We focus on how layers transform tokens and how we can consequently limit or adjust the transformer depth. We design a model which dynamically adapts the number of layers at the token level. We study how the number of layers evolve during pre-training, fine-tuning, and inference. Again, we present this analysis at the token level. Adapting the transformer depth is an active subject of research. Deep transformer models struggle to adapt to different levels of difficulty. For example, while 24 layers seems necessary to extract semantic information from a full, complex paragraph, this seems disproportionate to process a 5-word sentence. Some models, such as FastBERT or GBERT, propose to dynamically adapt the number of layers to the sample complexity. They pair each layer with a classifier. At each layer application, the classifier decides whether the model passes the features to the next layer or directly returns the current state. This mechanism is called early stopping. In this paper, we propose a model that can dynamically adapt the number of layers at the token level, depending on the complexity or ambiguity. You can find the full details about our paper in our paper. To briefly present you the core concept, it's based on Albert architecture. Weights are tiered across layers. Since all layers share the same weights, we refer to the application of the layer as an iteration. We extend Albert model with an adaptive computational mechanism. At each layer, and for each token, a classifier computes a probability to stop the iteration. If the iteration is not stopped, the token state is computed as a weighted combination from the previous and current state. Using this mechanism, the model can adapt the number of iterations for each token. Our model is pre-trained using standard self-supervised objectives, masked language model, and sentence order prediction. However, we add a contribution in the loss, which is proportional to the number of iterations. We thus encourage the model to spare the number of iterations. I'm going to present you the experiment. First, we present how the model adapts its depth during pre-training. We pre-train models with various configurations and observe the mechanisms during the pre-training in the presented table. We observe that the model iterates more on tokens that are either crucial for the pre-training task or present a certain level of difficulty. We observe that the CLS token receives far more iteration than other tokens. We interpret that the CLS token is used as input for the sentence order prediction task and aggregates a representation for the entire input. We also observe that the mask token benefits from more iteration than average token. As for the CLS, we interpret that these tokens are crucial for the mask language modeling task. We are also interested on how the token hidden states evolve during our model iterative transformations. The figure represents the evolution of the mean cosine similarity between two hidden states from two consecutive iterations. By design, our adaptive computational mechanism will stop to update the token hidden states at some point. Therefore, the model naturally converges toward a fixed point. And we indeed observe that for all tokens, the cosine similarity will eventually reach 0. However, all token convergence profiles are very distinct, in particular for the CLS token. We now study our model behavior during the fine-tuning on downstream syntactic and semantic tasks. We first verify that our setup has reasonable performance on the glue benchmark, which is commonly used to evaluate NLP models. The average score decreases with the number of iterations, but results stay in a reasonable range. We then fine-tune the model on probing task, which assesses whether a model encodes linguistic properties, and we compare the number of iterations performed for each token given its dependency type. Each task required a distinct number of iterations. For example, the top const task aims to predict the top constituent immediately below the sentence node. It requires to infer some sentence structure, and it is performed in 7.2 iterations. On the contrary, the tense task aims to predict the tense of the main clause verb. It can be solved from the verb only, and it is completed in only 5.4 iterations. Iterations are also unevenly distributed across tokens. For example, the subgenome task aims to predict the subject number, and the subject achieves the maximum number of iterations. Whilst for the obgenome task, which aims to predict the object number, the object and root token iterates more. Similarly, all tasks present a high number of iterations on the main verb, the root token. That is crucial for each prediction. As a conclusion, transformers are famous for their exponentially growing number of parameters. In the one hand, larger models appear as a key requirement for downstream performances. On the other hand, we suspect that deep transformer models are overparameterized, and most of their parameters are redundant. We should first better understand the mechanism in deep transformer models to reduce their computational footprint. In this perspective, our experiments provide a new interpretation path for the role of layers. They could be interpreted as an iterative and convergence process. Thank you very much.